everyone, today I'm going to show you how to crochet a cell phone minion cover. You will need an H-sized hook, a yarn needle, a pair of scissors, some different yarn. I'm using the Red Heart with Love, and this color is Bluebell. Red Heart with Love yellow. I don't exactly have the cover for it, so I don't know what color it is. And Red Heart in this gray, a little bit of black, and a little bit of white. Now this cell phone cover is great for all cell phones. You see the little eye is actually the button, which is really cool. And you can make it to fit any size cell phone. To begin, you want to grab your blue yarn and you want to make a slip knot. Make sure you have a little bit of a tail so that your work doesn't fall out. You're going to grab your hook and you're going to chain enough chains to reach across your device. So I'm going to chain a few and see. So I have 2, 4, 6. I have 8 chains, and that will reach across the face of my cell phone. The next thing you want to do is chain an extra one, because then we're going to be single crocheting back into the second chain from hook. And you just want to make sure that there's plenty of chain. So we're going to single crochet into the second chain from hook. So there's 1, 2. We're going to single crochet 2 into the same stitch. There's 1 and 2. Now we're going to place 1 single crochet into each of the following stitches to the end. And in this last stitch, we are going to place 3 single crochet. So we're going to do 1, 2, and just turn your work, and 3, because now we're going to work back on all of our stitches onto this side. So we have 3, and then into this next stitch we're going to place a single crochet. So that 3 got us around the corner, and we're going to just place 1 in each of these side stitches. And I'm working over my tail, as you see, so my work doesn't fall out. Okay. And then into the last stitch, you want to place 1 single crochet. So that one that we originally placed 2 in, you want to do the 1 more. So we have 3 in each of the ends, and then our side stitches. Now at this point you want to count your stitches, and that way you have the right, you have the right amount of stitches all the way up, because you want to make sure it doesn't get larger or smaller. So just count the V's, and those are your stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So I have 18 single crochet, and then I'm just going to slip stitch to my first stitch. Chain 1, and now we're going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. You do that, and I will see you for round 2. Okay, so I'm placing my last single crochet in, and I counted that I have 18 single crochet. So you see this space, it looks like it's like a stitch, but it's not. You want to make sure and count your top V's and make sure you have the right amount that you started with, because that is just a fake stitch. So you want to just skip over that and slip stitch into your first single crochet. So go ahead and keep going, and as you see, the work is cupping a little bit, and that's good because that's where the cell phone is going to go. So right here you can see I went about a little under halfway up my cell phone with the blue. So go ahead and do that. We will then switch to yellow. So I have completed my little case up to about halfway. There it fits into my cell phone. And what you're just gonna do is grab your scissors and fasten off. And we are going to switch to yellow. So you want to join into that same stitch and attach your yellow. Now at this point you are going to be doing the same amount of stitches for your cell phone. I'm going to chain up one and single crochet. And you're just going to continue single crocheting until your case gets to the top of your device. I think this would be great for an iPad too. You can just go straight up to here. And when you are done, I will see you to finish our little appliques. All right, so I have completed all of my yellow rounds and I am just grabbing my scissors to fasten off. The next step is to make the little goggle strap. And that is actually a slip stitch. Now the reason why I didn't add it into the cell phone case itself was because I just wasn't sure where I wanted it. So it kind of makes it easy and really versatile for this pattern. You can just do half yellow, half blue, and then everything else is added on top. So you want to grab your black yarn and you kind of want to eyeball it and see where you want your little strap to go. And I want mine to be right about there because I want them to match these two little cases. And I'm just going to go to the back where my seam is already. I'm going to grab my yarn and my hook, and I'm going to insert my hook into these uprights of the stitches. You want to grab a loop of your yarn, and we are going to slip stitch all the way around. So you're going to do it just like this. You're going to decide which row you want, and it's this row right here. So those uprights is what you're going to be working into. I'm going to pull a little bit more of a tail. And insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull up a loop, and then pull through the loop that's on the hook. And you want to make sure that this slip stitch is very loose. Let's see if I can show you how loose it is. Because that way it's not going to cinch down onto your work at all. Okay, so continue into each of these uprights all the way around, and then we can start on the suspenders and the little eye. Okay, so here we are. I have completed my little goggle strap, and I already sewed in the ends with my yarn needle. And the next step is going to be to do the little suspenders. Now on my case, I decided that the back of the suspenders, I wanted them to be almost touching. So you see they're only like a stitch apart. And on the front, I have them about 3 stitches apart. So you can grab your blue, and this is kind of like, you gotta eyeball it too, to see exactly where you want it. You might wanna fold your piece in half. Let's see. And kind of see where you want the stitches to land. Okay, and so I want mine to be just about there, and the second one to be here. So they're about 3 stitches apart. And I'm gonna insert my hook way down here into the blue, because you want to make sure that the slip stitch it's not too short into your yellow. Okay, so then we're gonna basically do the same thing we did with the black. And we're just gonna slip stitch up, and you can keep going. And at this point, I'm going to shoot across because that's where I need them to kind of round over. So you can just see how it's going for you. And I'm gonna go horizontally now. You can see how it's going together. And then you're going to keep going down the back. And the first one's much easier, and you know what, these are so easy, you can just pull it out if you decide that the straps are really not working for you. and my last slip stitch. Then I'm going to grab my scissors and fasten off with a long tail so I can sew the ends in. You're going to do that on the other side, and let's see, there's 1, 2, 3. So your next one will be like right there, and it's going to go up and around. Okay, so I just want to show you how this is going. I've got my second one started. And at this point, because I want them to be almost touching, I want to kind of fudge it and make sure that they do almost touch back in the back. So I'm going to kind of go diagonally down into the stitches, if it'll let me. There we go. Okay, and there we are. Go ahead and fasten off, sew in your ends, and we can start on the eye. To begin the eye, you want to start with a magic ring, and I know the black is really hard to see, so I apologize for that, but there's really no other color you can use for an eye. So I'm going to single crochet 5 into the magic ring. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to fasten my magic ring. I'm going to pull that tail really tight. And I'm going to leave the magic ring tail long because that's what we're going to sew the eye on with. You're going to slip stitch to your first single crochet to join. And you're going to fasten off, and we're going to do white. Now the white, you're going to place 2 half double crochet into each single crochet. So we're going to chain up 1, and half double crochet is of course yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch. Grab your yarn, pull up a loop. There's 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So there's 1. We're not going to count that chain at the beginning as a stitch, so you're going to go ahead and place another half double crochet into that same stitch. You want 2 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. Go ahead and do that, and I will see you for the gray round. Okay, so I have 10 half double crochet, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and you see there's this space. Well, we don't need a space there, so just go ahead and skip right over that. You want to slip stitch into your first half double crochet and just cinch it down, and that space will go away. You want to grab your scissors, fasten off, and we are now going to switch to gray. Going to add the gray to my little eye here. You're going to chain up 1, and we are going to single crochet now. So you want to single crochet 2 into this very first stitch. There's 1 and 2. And then you're going to single crochet 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 into that one, and 1 into the next one. And then you want to increase into the following stitch. So you're going to place 2 into this next stitch. It's 1 and 2. And then single crochet 1 into each of the next 2. Increase in this next stitch. Single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And then you want to increase at this last stitch. Now it's not perfect because you increased at the beginning, and I know it's like really not kosher to increase right at the end and then increase at the beginning, but it worked for this little project. So you want to slip stitch the beginning to the beginning again, and you could honestly just add 1 more little stitch into that space, just so it's nice and round. Okay? Slip stitch, and you can fasten off a little bit of tail. Go ahead and weave in your ends and then sew your eye onto your little minion. You can also add a little smiley face, which I just grabbed a piece of yarn and my yarn needle and I just sewed in a little mouth. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the last little strap to my little minion cover, and you want to make sure and just sew the eye on just from the center. Don't sew all the way around because this is going to act as our button, and if you sew around it won't be a button anymore. I put a little yellow yarn on my needle here. You want to sew in from the back about the center. Leave a little bit of a tail so you can sew it in. You're going to loop around the eye and back again. And the little loop is all complete. Go ahead and give it a tie. And your little minion cover is all done. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment on it. Let me know what you think. Please share with your friends and have a wonderful day. Bye.